9:59. Isn't that great? I'm going to sing a song for you. No, it's too early. I don't even want to sing this early. All right. So we're going to start, ladies and gentlemen. Let me make sure this is going here. Okay, good. We're on social media. It's all good. So let me stop this share in a second. I've been working on a song. For me, songs are like Rubik's cubes, because you know how you have to solve the puzzle. Whenever I start a song, unless it comes immediately, it's a puzzle, because to try and get the lyrics correct and the process. So I'm in the middle of a Rubik's cube, and it's making me nuts. Hey, Rabbi Rubenstein, how are you? Dr. Spitzer, Hani Yael, how are you? Good to see you all. Oh, and let me get the other thing here about the participants here. Well, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're here for a Siyyum. A Siyyum is literally a concluding section of the Talmud that we study, and in order for us firstborns, this every year, to not have to fast prior to the Seder, which would be the tradition, we have a Siyyum. Because the Seder, and now you might ask, well, why don't we do this on Saturday? Because the Seder is Saturday night. It's not an unreasonable question, but the truth is we're not allowed to fast for Shabbat. Shabbat is a joyful event, so you're not allowed to fast. And then the day before, on Friday, you're really not allowed to fast, because you got to be preparing for Shabbat, and this year also for the Yom Tov. So they move it back to Thursday. All right. So that's what we're doing. That's why we're here right now. So let's go from the beginning. Right now, I'm going to share my Siddur with you, because it's going to be important today. You're going to all have to follow along. There we are. All right. So there's the first page. You know that. Ma tovu. Let me see. Ma tovu. Ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. Sometimes it will say that, usually not. The first thing that really happens in a Siyyum is you go to synagogue and everybody says, morning, how are you? All right, that's it. You do a lot of that. And then everybody goes to their seat, and they find their tefillin bag and their talit. Usually two separate bags. Sometimes you have a big bag, you put them together. This is a large bag. It says talit on it. And in my bag, I have tefillin. Let's see, it says tefillin on it. And I have different talitot. For our purposes today, because it's too hard for me to, well, all right, I'll try it. Why not? This is my grandfather's talit. It's really old. I use it for ordinations or when I'm davening, you know. And all right, so before I do anything, here, let's go through the process. Even if you don't have it, it's all right. First thing is, you see, you're going to put on your tzitzit first. And it's not tzitzit, it's the talit. So we say the blessing. You can all read the screen, right? Sorry, it's small. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehitatef batzitzit. You give a kiss to the collar. And then, like I say to bar mitzvah students, you do a Zorro. They don't even know what Zorro is. Unless it's a game, nobody even knows what a Zorro is. But I know. A Zorro is like, da-da-da, you do the twist. And all right, your talit is on. It's great. Now, the machers know the big deal about a talit is how to make it, has to drape it over you so it doesn't keep falling off. This is the battle that every Jewish person who wears a talit wages every time they put on. Oh, thank you, Albert. Look at Albert. Albert's got it down. All right, so now basically, so we got the talit on. We don't have to do hinema. Now we're going to do the blessings over the tefillin. So you take the tefillin out of your bag. Notice I'm going to take, and the first one that you're going to put on. It's really supposed to be the. All right, that's right. That's right. You put on the arm a little bit, and then you put on the head. All right, so you put on the arm tefillin. You open it up, and you let the straps come down. There's a whole thing about tefillin I could talk to you about. Well, we don't have a week, so these are also known as phylacteries. Make sure you say the word right, because otherwise you say the wrong word, and it's you say what? No, it's phylacteries. And it goes on your arm. See, and there's a whole process. There are rituals as to how, which way, which arm, which you name it. So you really need somebody to show you, to help you. Again, Albert is ahead of the pack. Thank you, Albert. You take the cover off. You put it on the arm in the correct way that you would be taught. And you basically put it on your arm and you try to cut off your circulation. No. But it's tight enough so that it doesn't move. It's opposite your heart. All right. And then you wind the strap around your arm 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. Now you have all this stuff, the rest of the strap, so just gather it together because you're not finished. Now you're going to and you say the blessing. I should have said the blessing first, but we'll say it now. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'haniach tefillin. Good. So we got that. Now you're halfway done with the hand. Now you put the head on. You might as well say the next blessing. Do this one right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvat tefillin. Now you take the cover off. There's always a little cover on there. By the way, the scroll's in here, in case you don't know, written by a scribe. Shema is and the ancillary prayers to the Shema are in here. Okay, put it on your head. Make sure the strap looks right. Good. These things, the strap and the head, usually they have to be adjusted because when you get them, they're not the right size. It's supposed to be pretty much where mine are. Some people wear them lower, some people wear them higher, but there is a prescribed area for where they're supposed to be. You can modify the length of it if you know what you're doing, and if you don't, you can still modify them. It just comes out all wrong. All right, so now take the strap, right? And you're going to create, with your hand, you're going to create a shin, believe it or not, by wrapping it in a certain way, around the fingers, around this 3 times here, goes back here, and voila, you have a shin. If it is a shin. The reason we go for a shin is because a shin is another representation of the name of God, aka Shaddai. Shaddai is another name of God. Okay, now that's all done. Now you turn to your friend next door and say, yeah, my wife, whatever. All right, now you move on. I'm just giving you men's stuff, the way that we daven in the morning, and it's usually men. I have to say, it's not a sexist thing. It's usually men in the morning. Just is. Sometimes a woman or two, but mostly men. All right. So now you're ready. Now you're ready to daven. And away we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start with the morning blessings. I've put arrows on there I've chosen certain blessings I thought would be most appropriate for us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani ben chorin. Blessed are you who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim, who helps the blind to see. Next arrow. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam zokef kufufim, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavir sheina me'enai tenuma me'af apai, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids. Now remember, there are about 20 or more of those in a regular service. Ours is abridged. Okay. All right. Now we continue with the Psalms of Pesukei de Zimra, verses of song, Psalms of praise. And the melody is Baruch She'amar v'haya ha'olam Baruch Hu Baruch Oseh V'Reishit, Baruch Omer Ve'Oseh, Baruch Gozer U'Mekayim, Baruch Merachem Al Haaretz. And let's finish in English from the middle. Praised. Blessed is the one bestowing good to the reverent. Blessed the one boundless, vital, and eternal. Praise the one who saves and brings freedom. Blessed be God's name. Baruch Podel Matzil, Baruch Shemo. And now we continue with the Shema and its blessings. The Baruch Hu precedes the Shema. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorah. Congregation, Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Prayer leader typically says Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Let me make sure there's nobody in the waiting room. I don't think there is. Okay, and it's good, it's useful to stay in the melody. That way you don't lose it. Baruch atah melech haolam yotzer or u'berech hoshech oseh shalom u'barei hakol. I've skipped to make it good. Make it more accessible. Ahava rabba avtanu Adonai Eloheinu Avinu Avinu Babur Avoteinu. And we'll go to the beginning. Eternal God, you have extended abounding love to us. Our source, for the sake of our ancestors, be trusted in you, and whom you taught principles of life. Be now gracious to us, leading us to learn. Last paragraph. Enlighten our eyes through the instruction of your Torah, and make our heart embrace with enthusiasm your mitzvot. Unite our hearts and minds to express love and reverence for your name. And sometimes the guys have a little energy, or the prayer leader does, and he wants to sing. And the clap on the mitzvotecha, you smack the yachid lehevavinu le'ahava u'li'yira et shemecha, and it keeps going. V'lo nevosh v'lo nikalem v'lo nikashel le'olam va'ed ki v'shem kadshech. This melody, I believe, is Karl Bach, whose synagogue is around the corner. V'shem kadshecha hagadol v'hanora b'hataknu nagila v'nismecha b'shuatecha. Hi, Jeff K. Now we change the melody up. Now you can use Hatikva. And you can bark, it adds to the song. They left out words. Now, here's the trick. Now we're getting ready for the Shema. And the tradition is you gather the four fringes on your talit together. And that can take 20 minutes because sometimes you can't find them. But I'm professional. You'll notice that I have all of them together. Represents the four corners of the universe, if there is such a thing. North, south, east, and west. So v'kehera tanu l'shimcha hagadol lai 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 behemet hodot l'cha li'achedcha bi'ahava lai 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 Baruch atah Adonai bocher b'amo Yisrael bi'ahava. Now you have the four fringes, right? And we go to the Shema. Yeah. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Traditional Jews don't say the Baruch Shem out loud, so today will be traditional, and it can go either way. Now with the V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, more times than not they just go quiet. V'ahavta is quiet. All right, so you daven it quietly, And of course, the style is you just pick out little words that people are saying so you can keep track of them. And the prayer leader's job is to sort of be the captain of the ship. Prayer leader's job is to navigate the waters, but make sure the waves aren't too big and that everybody's in the same lane. True. All right. Now here's the section where we read, and every time you say tzitzit, you give a kiss. Okay, ready? Vayomer Adonai al Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta alehem v'asu lahem tzitzit. Give a kiss. Al kanfei bigdehem ledoratam v'nadnu al tzitzit. Hakanaf til techelet v'ayalachem letzitzit. Uritem oto uzachartem et kol mitzvot Adonai v'asitem otam v'lo taturu acharei levavchem yacharei einechem asher atem zonim achareihem leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Now, when we say the Lord, I am the Lord your God who is truth, which I left out. Adonai Elohechem emet. One more kiss. Now you can drop the tzitzit. You're done with holding them. You don't have to hold them. All right, and the davening continues. And now at Shira we have a congregation Shira Chadasha. Shivchu geulim leshimcha sefat hayam yachad kulam hodu v'himlichu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Tzur Yisrael kuma be'ezrat Yisrael v'dechinu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael go aleinu Adonai tzivaot shemo Kidosh Yisrael Baruch Atah Adonai Yisrael. Now we're up to the Amidah. Weekday mornings is a weekday morning. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu. But for our purposes, let's join together in the melody we know. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el, Hagadol, Hagibor, Vanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdevot V'imahot, U'mevi Gola Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor, Le'elam Adonai, Mechal Kol Atah, Rav Lehoshia. Now, this is the last time that we'll be together that we will say these words: Mashiv Haruach U'Morid Hagashem, who makes the wind blow and brings down the rain. We're gonna substitute for that after the first day of Passover. Instead of that line with the asterisk, we're going to substitute Morid Hatal, who brings forth dew. Because we have two official seasons, and this is where the liturgy changes for half the year. All right, now you'd have a silent, daven silently, quiet, and we would conclude with Hoseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel v'imaru, Amen. All right. So now it's time to have a Siyyum. This would also be the time normally where we would read from the Torah. Remember, we read Monday and Thursday also. But we're not. sorry, we're going to just have a Siyyum. So let me share that with you. Let me share the screen. All right. So we're going to say the blessing. We're going to have a little learning, a little together as a community, right? So before we do something, well, actually, for traditional Jews, before you do anything, there's a blessing. But for us, since we're going to have a little study, we'll say this blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok divrei Torah. We praise you who calls us to holiness through mitzvot, commanding us to engage in the study of Torah. Okay. So this is, oh boy, this is small. I have to make this bigger for me because I can't see it. Oh, much better. There you go. I don't know what that did to you. I don't know if it extended it, but if you can't see it, you can make it larger on your, on social media, you can't. I'm sorry. On your Zoom, you can. I think there's a way if you expand it. All right. So, Rabbi Eliezer Chalash. That's all I'm going to read right now. Hi, Roberto. How are you? Rabbi Eliezer, well, Elazar. Actually, it says Eliezer in Hebrew. Rabbi Eliezer fell ill. And Rabbi Yochanan went in to visit him. Now, we've learned in the Talmud that apparently Rabbi Eliezer was a very handsome man. The Talmud quotes on this. Very handsome, very proud man. So he got ill, and Rabbi Yochanan went in to visit him. So Rabbi Yochanan noticed he was lying in a dark room. So what does that say right there when we get right at the very beginning? So Rabbi Eliezer he's ill, and he's lying in a dark room. What does that say about Rabbi Elchanan? Anyone want to just share? What do you think it says about him? Just that much.
Well, it's dark. He's in a sense not trying, because darkness is. The light should have been, or the blinds open, something to give hope. He's give up.
He's despondent.
He's despondent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Albert. Yeah.
Yeah. He's despondent, and he's hidden.
Yeah. He's remember, this is a very handsome man who is now a very proud man, a scholar, and he's lying in so you're all both right. Now, so Rabbi Yochanan noticed he was lying in this dark room, and Rabbi Yochanan bared his arm, and light radiated from it. Now, what does that say about Rabbi Yochanan?
He was a more godly man.
Okay, maybe I don't know if he's more godly, but he was certainly enlightened. He was certainly a sage. He was certainly a scholar. Somehow he had, I don't know if that's a metaphor for the light. I don't know if light actually emanated. It could just be that he offered Rabbi Eliezer his company, his presence, and he brought light to the room. Right? Okay, good. Thereupon he noticed that Rabbi Eliezer was weeping. He's weeping. And Rabbi Yochanan said to him, "My friend, why are you crying? Is it because you did not study enough Torah? My friend, surely we learn the one who sacrifices much and the one who sacrifices little have the same merit, provided that the heart is directed to heaven. Surely one who has faith." I'm paraphrasing, right? What anyone want to paraphrase or sort of translate what he's saying? What Rabbi Yochanan was saying? What you think he was saying?
Well, if you're doing it from your heart, whether you do a lot or you do little, it's equivalent, and Hashem is accepting that.
Yeah, but what else could it mean if Rabbi Yochanan is trying to, if he immediately, maybe he heard before he got there that Rabbi Eliezer was ill, right? So imagine you've heard that this person, this great scholar who is very proud, his appearance is important to him, right? So Rabbi Yochanan is, I think what we see, Rabbi Yochanan is reaching into his bag of tricks to do whatever he can to help his colleague, his friend, right?
Yeah.
It continues. Then Rabbi Yochanan says, "Look, perhaps it's a lack of sustenance. You know, maybe you're hungry. But remember, not everybody has the privilege to enjoy two tables of wealth and learning. So apparently, what's he saying? What's he saying then to Rabbi Eliezer? What's he trying to do right there?
Be thankful what you have.
Thank you.
That's right.
Right, Albert? He's saying, but he's saying it. He's not saying, "Look, Schmendrick, you're sick, but be grateful." That's not what he's saying, right?
Exactly.
He's doing it in a way that you would want to do it. You would filter it, that you would be kind if you're trying to help someone in such a situation, right? And then he says, "Is it perhaps because the lack of children? This is the bone of my 10th son." You know, I don't know exactly how that relates. Anyone of you want to take a shot at that? Is it perhaps because of the lack of children? This is the bone of my 10th son. Well, perhaps. Yeah. What do you think, Albert?
I think he was doubting himself.
Okay. Well, I think I don't. Since it was Rabbi Yochanan who's saying it, Rabbi Yochanan is the healer. How does that make Rabbi Eliezer in any way feel better? We have to look at it through that lens. So if Rabbi Yochanan says to Rabbi Eliezer, "Look, what you like? Are you sad because is it the lack of children? Maybe he doesn't have children, right?" And but then he says, "This is." But I've got 10, I'm not any better off than you are, in a lot of ways. Maybe he's trying to mitigate the child. I don't know. I'm taking a leap here, but perhaps that's it. Now, finally, Rabbi Eliezer says, here we get to know Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer says, I'm weeping on account of this beauty that's going to rot in the earth. What does that say?
Afraid he's afraid of death.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any other ideas?
He doesn't know what's coming, so he's afraid.
Yeah. But it also says, remember what I told you at the very beginning. We learned that Rabbi Eliezer, it specifically says he was a handsome man. Like the Torah says about Joseph. It makes a point to say that Joseph was a good-looking young man. The Torah is really makes a point of people who are very attractive, but not because they're attractive. Why?
Because he's also, beauty here can be taken as physical attributes, and also for his study of Torah or Tanakh, or the whole religious experience.
Yes, and not only that, but I'm looking on social media here, and Hannah Yael, I think she hit the nail on the head. Pride. Rabbi. Remember, many of us remember our youth, and we remember all the qualities that we had, the way that we could run and jump, and we were doing stuff that was impressive, and now this man is humbled, but he's admitting to his friend. He's saying to him, "Thank you, Hannah," and Jeff also said that, lost his will, and Jeff K. Right. So I'm weeping on account of this beauty that is going to rot in the earth. Now remember, he's not saying this to his congregation. What does that say about their relationship that he could say something like that?
They were very close. They were probably best friends.
Could be Vesper. Who could you say that to? Look at how handsome I am now. Look at me. I look like crap. I feel like crap, right? So there you are. So Rabbi Yochanan then said to him, what does Rabbi Yochanan said to him? He said, on that account, you surely have reason to weep. What do you glean from that? Like if Albert, if you said to me, "Oh, look at me, I'm laying, God forbid, I'm laying in this bed. I was such a handsome guy. Look at me, I look like crap." And then I would say to you, I said, "Well, you're right."
I would tell you to stop worrying so much. Life is too short.
Okay, well that would be the goal. But I'm just saying they have that kind of relation. It's a little repartee. It's a little give and take between the scholars, between the rabbis, right? Hold on, is someone? I'm in YouTube. She's in. Okay, all right. So there you go. So then, after that little remark, that little kind of humorous remark to both of them, they both wept. They had a very human moment. They both wept because, like all of you, we all agree that life is so short, and it's a moment. And you can remember when we were young, and we can remember when we, all this stuff. And there you go. So in the meantime, Rabbi Yochanan said to him, now he gets a little more serious. Now he gets a little more serious to his friend. He says, "Are your sufferings welcome to you?" That's a hard thing to say to a friend. What does that mean? Translate that for me, somebody. On the socials, somebody. What does that mean? Are your sufferings welcome to you?
That you're too deep and you're becoming depressed. That you should not. This is part, yes, accept it, but don't get depressed over it. Just keep going and doing what you have to.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Anyone else?
Don't and be happy.
What's that, Albert? I
said, don't worry, be happy.
Okay. Well, yeah. Maybe there's some of that. I tend to think that this is a moment of transition where Rabbi Yochanan said to Haniel says focusing on the wrong things. No, I believe that this are your sufferings welcome to you. This is a moment where a pastoral counselor might want to gently help someone who's maybe at the end of their towards the end of their lives, even though we never know. You don't know that. Are you? How can I help you? Prepare. It's a very difficult thing, and I don't even know that we approach it that way today. But he says, "Are your sufferings welcome to you?" Do you understand, my friend, that, like you said, Albert, and others said, time is very short, and can you accept, what your future is going to bring for you, my friend?
Well, he was blessed that he had someone there with him that was actually listening to him, honoring him, and saying, "Don't worry, everything will be all right, and we'll just talk this through."
Okay, well, we're not exactly there yet, but that's where we're going. And Rabbi Robin, wondering about mortality, absolutely. This is a very profound scenario. This visiting the sick, Bikur Cholim. So Rabbi Yochanan said to Rabbi Eliezer, that proud, handsome man, "Are your sufferings welcome to you?" And Rabbi Eliezer replied, No, they're not. Not them or the reward. What's the reward is Olam Haba. I'm going to die. Not welcome. I'm not interested. I'm a handsome guy. I'm a proud man. I'm lying in this bed, and I guess I'm going to die. And Rabbi Yelchanan said, "Give me your hand." He gave him his hand, and he raised him. It's a very beautiful story about visiting the sick, about the moments that can occur in such a visit, the dynamics of if it's a good friend, God forbid a relative, and I just thought it was beautiful sharing for all of you. Any comments?
It's a lot.
It's a lot to think about, and but it's a beautiful segment of the Torah, of the Talmud. All right, so we have now completed. We've now done our study. So here we're gonna let me see. Oh, that's not it. Sorry, these are other sections. This is like for next year. I have other sections that I chose. Sorry, not that. Okay, so now let's do a prayer for healing. All right, type in the names of anyone you'd like me to mention. Misha Berach Abotenu, Makor HaBracha Le'imotenu. Please, any names you'd like to mention on Zoom, or just type them in on the socials. Yeah.
Lori Bat Selma.
Okay.
Valerie, Rose, Malcolm, and Albert.
Evan Coleman, Anastasia, Bruce Drazen, Khalifa Terry, Kaya. Okay. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Rochelle Marmonstein and Michael Fox. Let us say, Amen. Okay. We send our healing energy out to all those people. Saul Carroll is also included. We begin to conclude our service. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latei kedula le'otzeh bereshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Let's do this for the fun of it. Shehu noteh shamayim v'yoser haaretz u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al u'shchinatu zo v'gavhem meromim hu Eloheinu einod emet malkeinu evezulato kakatu b'torato yadata hayom hashivota elevavecha ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim Bashamayim mimal mi'al haaretz mitachat einod v'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. All right, I've had a request here to do a Misha Berach, particular Misha Berach, but for some reason it's not in the Siddur. Why is that? Okay, interesting. I've never seen it before this thing. All right. Misha Berach Avotenu, Makor HaBracha Imotenu V'Avotenu. Please send a refuah shalema to Hefzibah and her family, and for Rabbi Berger, Rabbi Rubenstein. Excuse me. One for Hefzibah. Oh, just for a family, not for you. Okay, I'm sorry. I take it back. Unless you're sick, you can bank it. You can bank it in case you have a cold or something coming up. All right. And I'll try and figure out why the Misha Berach is not in the Siddur. The Misha Berach. All right. We did V'nei Amar. Okay, so now our thoughts turn to our loved ones who are no longer with us. We'll now join together for the mourner's Kaddish. And of course, we're going to, and our thoughts will be all the people who were slaughtered these past 10 days in those 2 mass shootings. Join together for the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah v'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mavurach li'olam u'olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal Shemei d'kudsha b'richu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran b'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. All right, we're going to conclude with Adon Olam, but I wanted to that's your dad's yard site. Okay. All right. Zichron Mivacha. May his memory be for a blessing. So, ladies and gentlemen, Passover. So here's the deal. Tonight, what you're supposed to do, Carol, you going over there to do the...
Or she might be coming here. I
all
found
right.
one you can show them. Do you
All
want
right.
to show them?
Yeah, do you have
Here, I
it?
got it right now.
Okay, thanks. My wife is in my shul right now. She's my, okay. She's in my shul. And she went over.
Aksameach.
Hey.
All right.
Aksameach.
So wait.
Thank
So,
you.
Kara.
I just want to say thank you, Albert, for all your continued support. And Ellen, you're sounding like a rabbi over there, for God's
Oh,
sake. With
thank
all
you.
the rest of us. Listen to you.
you can get a Bedikat Chametz. It's a search for Chametz kit. It's literally a candle, a feather. It sounds like a riddle. Well, what is a candle, a feather, and a spoon? Bedikat Chametz kit.
It's a wooden spoon.
And a wooden spoon.
Yeah. I think you got to use a wooden one.
All right. Well, I don't know. I think this is a recyclable. No, it's a wooden one, which is recyclable. The tradition is, the bottom line is, no matter how we try, we can't get rid of all the chametz in our house. There's always going to be something. Rabbi Robin said hi, Carol.
Robin.
Yeah. So we can't. It's always going to be something. Your dog threw a bone over there and you didn't find. It's always going to happen. So we have to have a way. There's 2 ways, at least, that we can nullify any chametz that we didn't find. All right. The first step is tonight. You're supposed to seed your house with 10 pieces of chametz. I'm not kidding. You seed it, you put it out, and but you got to write down where it is, because otherwise you'll forget it. If you got a grandkid or a kid, or you just want to do it for you, of course it's not as much fun because you know where you hid the pieces. So, but now you have your kid go around with the candle, hopefully maybe better for a flashlight instead of a candle, especially if they're little. And with the feather, you find the stuff, and now you need a paper bag.
Oh, the paper bag.
It's not in here. You need a little paper bag.
No, okay.
So, and then you find the pieces. And there's a blessing. It's blessings on the paper in the kit. You find all the pieces. You put it in a paper bag. Tomorrow morning, you burn the paper bag, and there's a blessing. It's in your Haggadah. The blessings to do that are in there.
Yeah.
And after you do that, starting on Friday, like at 10 in the morning, you're not allowed to eat chametz in your home anymore. You can go. We were talking about last night. You can go to Dunkin' Donuts. That would be worth it. But you can't. But you can't. You can't bring it home. Or maybe you could create a little space in your house, but then you're going to have to just a little place. But it's better not to do it. So So what are you going to eat for bread? And also you can't eat chametz, so you really got to eat. You want to, you don't eat your Seder meal, but you got to start. That's what you're supposed to do. So the way that, but you're not supposed to eat regular matzah until the Seder. So how do we get around that? Egg matzah is the solution.
Ah, okay.
Egg matzah is the solution because egg matzah is not 100% kosher for a Seder.
Ah,
That's how we do it. We Jews, we know how to do it.
that goes.
Rabbi Rubenstein said Dixie cup, less fire. That would be a good idea. That's true. Instead of a paper bag, we have a Dixie cup.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you saved us. Thank you very much. All right, so that is your mission tonight. If you can't get a kit, I want you to crack open your pillow, take a razor, crack. No, don't do that. You need, I don't know, get something. Use a dust buster, and it's a wonderful ritual. Any questions about that? Okay, all right. Let's conclude with Adon Olam because that's what we should do. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem kol Yitzir Nira, Le'ed Nasa B'chefzo kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, V'acharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora, V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh, V'hu Yeh B'tifara, V'hu Echad V'yein Sheni, Lahamshil Lo Lahachbira, B'li Reshit, B'li Tachlit, V'lo Ha'oz V'ha'misra, V'hu Eli V'chai Goali, V'tzur Chavli B'yetzara, V'hu Nisi Umanosli, Menat Kosi B'yom Ekra, B'yado Avkid Ruchi, B'et Ishan V'ayira, V'im Ruchi Gaviyati, Adonai li velo ira. 2 points. The Blaine Sim Shalom Seder Sunday night. If you got nowhere to go, come to us. We're actually going to provide all the matzah, so you don't have to worry.
Thank you.
Right? And
Very much.
well, everything you need, we'll be there for you, so you don't have to go shopping. And it's at 6:00 on Sunday night. And the other thing is, what else? Tomorrow night, just a regular, very mellow service. I'm going to explain the basic rules of Passover, and it'll just be, just be regular service tomorrow night. Or what else? That's it. Any questions before we go?
Toda Rabah. Chag Sameach Pesach, everybody.
Chag Sameach, everybody. Thanks for joining in. This was beautiful. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, it was.
And Rabbi Robin made an apple kugel with matzah. That's actually really good. Yeah, I made my own charoset. After we're done, I'm going to have Carol taste it, see if it came out good. All right.
Okay.
See you later, everybody. Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
All right. Good to see you, Albert.
Thank you very much. Yay.
Be well.